Hello and welcome to Croans. June has come to an end, so it's time for my monthly update on all my ant colonies, following the last update I made in May. Let's begin with my Messor angularis colony and its queen Adimu, whom I received in September 2024 together with just 20 workers. As you can see, the colony is very active in the outworld with plenty of female alates moving around and hanging on the drinkers. And this is the current situation inside the nest. They still have some room to expand. They have only recently started using this module as an additional grain store. This chamber is packed with alates. I recently counted the colony and it now contains around 140 alates, all of them female, and just over 1800 workers. That brings the total population to roughly 1950 ants. Only a month ago, the colony contained around 1520 ants. That's an impressive growth of 28%. What I find particularly interesting is that despite producing such a large number of alates, the colony is still increasing its worker population. It has clearly reached maturity, yet it continues to grow. The humid module is absolutely packed with brood, and I really mean packed. There are larvae and pupae of many different sizes. Some of them will become new workers, while others will develop into future queens. This is the egg chamber. Just look at the enormous pile of eggs. The colony will almost certainly continue growing. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to spot Adimu this time. With so many princesses, some of which have already shed their wings, it has become increasingly difficult to identify the queen. Now let's move on to Messor capitatus colony and its queen Georgia, who also arrived in September 2024 with just 20 workers. They are also very active in the outworld, and rather messy. Cleaning their setup isn't easy because they are extremely defensive. They attack almost anything that comes near the outworld. Here's the nest. On the left is the dry module, which serves as the granary. On the right is the humid module, where most of the workers and brood are located. There's Queen Georgia. And just above her, you can see some lovely piles of eggs. The nest contains larvae and pupae of many different sizes. The colony now contains around 1100 workers. Back in May, I counted approximately 830 ants, so that's an increase of about 32%. You can also watch the workers producing ant bread. This is the most humid chamber of the nest and they need the extra moisture for this process. The colony also has around 10 supermajors with enormous heads. Here's one of them in the outworld. I never get tired of watching these ants. After all, the name Messor capitatus, the big-headed harvester ant, comes from these impressive workers. let's visit my Messor barbarus colony and its queen Carmen. She arrived in September 2024 with just 15 workers, and because of all the mistakes I made, the colony struggled during its first months. You can hear more about that in another video. Inside the nest, the dry chambers are used to store seeds, while the humid chambers contain the brood. And here is Her Majesty herself, Carmen. The colony also has some impressive majors, perhaps around 20 of them. There are larvae and pupae of various sizes throughout the nest. The smaller module contains even more brood. And in this chamber you can see two small piles of eggs, one in the left corner and another in the lower part of the chamber. Carmen certainly hasn't stopped laying. In May, the colony contained around 360 ants. Now it has grown to around 600. That's an increase of 67% in just 1 month. Remarkable. Finally, let's visit my Camponotus herculeanus colony. The first nanitic, which emerged at the end of May, now has a much darker thorax, as her cuticle has fully hardened. The colony still has 2 larger larvae and 3 smaller ones. They are feeding well, and I'm hoping the larger larvae will pupate very soon. So what's the overall picture? Camponotus herculeanus colony is gradually moving beyond the founding stage. Messor angularis colony has reached maturity but continues to grow steadily. Messor capitatus colony is expanding rapidly while developing an increasingly specialized worker caste, and my Messor barbarus colony is currently in its fastest phase of expansion. That's all for today's update. See you next time on Croans.